We the champions here in Los Angeles. We doing numbers. Bringing home victory straight out the huddle. I met the plug, introduced to my brother. My squad superior, ain't none above us. We doing numbers. Gang in the building, we taking it over. Call the promoters. I just put up in this thing with my soldiers. I blew it and I'm still. Last minute I'ma need me some. Call up Khalifa. Bring them in the. You know I stay with some bad little baby. TGOD baby, know that's a gang gang. Crazy girls after the game. We throwing hundreds, we going insane. Pouring this. Yeah, homies got me pouring this. We get awards, but we give God the glory. I'm shooting my shot, and most times I be scoring.
We are pleased, as always, to be bringing you coverage of the National Football League on EA Sports. Today, it's the penultimate week of the regular season, Week 16, and we've got a good one in store between the Chicago Bears and the Los Angeles Rams. And we are underway from SoFi Stadium. And no run back here, so they'll bring it out to the 25. Stafford going to throw from the outset. Sideline throw, it's complete. And a nice job there of keeping the toes in bounds. The game's first play produces 6 yards, brings up second down.
I do have to admit, I like it when it all comes together. When the top part, catching the football, right, whether you're catching it with your hands or cradling it, comes together with the legs, in this case the feet, doing a little toe tap to stay in bounds and complete the catch.
And a great job by our crew on the camera shot. Love when you see the grass or on the field turf, those rubber pellets flying up. Great catch. A gain of 5, good enough for the first down.
First and 10 at the 36-yard line.
Going right back to Akers. And nothing much materializing there on the first down run. He'll get a couple, and that's it. Well, the Rams had 8-6 now on the year. And they've been playing their best football of the year, winners of 4 in a row.
And I thought that they played pretty well last week. Their execution, their discipline, their resilience, all on display in that victory.
The last run good for 2. Here's 2nd and 8. Then the hook up here to Allen Robinson. And they'll get this well past midfield before being stopped just before the 35. 25 yards there on the catch and run. And on this first drive, looks like they want to get that vertical passing game going early.
And they did, and what a warning shot they just fired. If you're not going to back up and play coverage deep, we're going to attack you all game long. And once you adjust to that and you start to back off, then that opens things up underneath. A really nice start for them. Great way to get the game going.
Looking for more there on first down, but this throw downfield incomplete.
Well, they've been back on their heels a little bit here on this drive, but a chance to exhale just a little bit there with incompletion on first down. Now they have to gear up, try and get 2 more stops, and escape this drive.
Line of scrimmage, again the 37 as they line up 2nd and 10. Stafford going to give this to Akers. And tough sledding. He'll get maybe a yard. Stop short of the 35.
And the big fella stuffed that one up in a big way. I think doubling him has to be a priority because you can't move up to the next level if you don't take care of him first.
Now play number 7 of this this drive, but it's a tough 3rd and 9. Here's Stafford.
Now this is taken in by the tight end, Bryson Hopkins.
Well, this is going to depend on the spot, but it's not a very generous one. He looks to be about a yard or so short.
I thought maybe when he caught, he'd have a good chance of getting that first down, but that's a nice job of holding him up and preventing him from getting to the sticks.
Here we go on 4th. Stafford. He'll get this complete to Cooper Kupp.
And he is going to have the Rams first down as they manage to convert, and that'll keep the drive alive.
A big pickup of 12 yards on 4th down to keep this drive from stalling.
16-yard line.
So this drive going to continue following the conversion on 4th. Here's 1st and 10. Off the option, here's Akers.
And he's brought down just outside of the 10 at the 11. The run got 4. Now they deal with a 2nd and 6.
They'll go again here with Akers.
And he's going to be brought down just shy of the 5 at the 6.
A quick burst there, and he nicely bit off a pretty decent gain.
A gain of 5. Brings up 3rd and 1.
It's been a pretty long opening drive. This will be play number 11 coming up on 3rd down.
They'll try and run for this with Akers.
And he'll get into the end zone. Touchdown, Rams.
Cam Akers hitting double digits with his 10th rushing touchdown on the year. And the Rams get the upper hand as they're on the board first here this afternoon.
And now they'll empty the backfield here as they like to go for 2. Stafford's going to try and throw for it. Looking end zone, but it's incomplete. Well, they had that great, long, methodical drive to put in the end zone. Then they tried to bite off a little more and get 8 points. Instead, they're sitting at 6.
But didn't that feel like a decision that they made on Tuesday?
Yeah. Well, you usually say that's what they do, right?
Right. That's the best one. The best ones do that. They take the emotion out of it. That felt like that was scripted. Hey, if we score in the opening drive, we're going to go for 2 and try and really gain an advantage.
So they went for 2 and failed. They didn't use him on the PAT, but now he boots this one away with a 6-0 lead.
And here comes a return from the middle of the end zone. And he's able to get this across the 20, but not by much as he's marked down officially at the 21.
At their own 21-yard line.
Fields and the Bears now with a 1st and 10.
At their own 21. They'll start on the ground with Montgomery. And he'll manage to pick up about 4. It's 2nd down.
Well, it's time for them to be good teammates right here. What I mean by that is possess the ball for a little while. Get at least 2 first downs. Give their defense a chance to settle down a little bit after they give up a touchdown.
They'll come up 2nd and 6 now from the 24. Again, they'll go ground with Montgomery. They'll be brought down on the 30-yard line after a gain of 6.
This defense for the Rams, they were terrific a week ago in the win over Seattle.
And the big difference in the ball game, their ability to force turnovers, 3 of them in fact. Being able to take the ball away, give it back to their offense, that's something that's emphasized each and every week, and they carried it out.
They'll run it. Here's Montgomery. Well, they hit him in the backfield, and he will not escape. And that is not going to get it done. Losing 2 yards that time, and now it's 4th down. Here comes the Bears punter now, as he's on a punt for the first time this afternoon. They punted 3 times in the loss last week as he sends this one away. And take it right on the 30. It's a 39-yard punt, 8 on the return, and the Rams will go on offense here with a 1st and 10. Set to begin their next drive, the Rams offense at the line. And they, if you just look at this game, Charles, on paper, they've got the edge, no doubt. They're hanging around the top of the NFC. On the other side, you got a squad that's towards the bottom of the NFC. But when we mentioned that to the coaches, they were having no part of it.
Yeah, and I like how you said when we mentioned it. In fact, I mentioned it, and I upset them a little bit, didn't I? Because they wanted no part of that one. And I was reminded, like a 5-year-old, this is the NFL. Any given Sunday, anything can happen. They're guarding against the upset.
Down the sideline he goes. Touchdown, Rams. Another impressive drive. So they're 2 for 2, 2 touchdowns. Charles, a great start to this ball game for them.
And one of the words that's really worked its way into our lexicon is stacking. They've stacked momentum each time out, not only on offense. Between those touchdowns, defense held, forced a punt to get the ball back, and they've played awfully well in this one. Both sides playing at optimum level.
Extra point up and through by Myers. And the lead now stands at 13. And after the touchdown, here's Myers to boot it away. And here comes a return from a few steps into the end zone. And the decision to come out of the end zone is going to cost him 5 yards as he's taken down right at the 20. The Bears offense ready to go for their next drive. You know, in our research packet this week, prepping for the game, so many articles from the local beat writer about the offensive struggles of this team and what will they do this offseason. What do you think they'll do?
Well, number one, they'll turn to a self-scouting report, and every team.
From all the way up at the 38 now after a good start to the drive. To throw is Fields. This one swung out to Montgomery. And he'll be tackled on the other side of midfield at the 46-yard line. Well, we saw David Montgomery lead the nation a few years back in broken tackles when he was at Iowa State. And he's proven to be difficult to bring down in the NFL as well.
Yeah, and that's a run born out of ferociousness. He took on that initial contact and in his mind just screamed, "Out of my way," and kept right on going and wound up turning it into a big play.
And the next-gen stats shows us the tale of how much yardage he was able to pick up after the initial contact. On first down, it's Fields. It's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect.
And not a common sight, at least on this drive. A momentary setback, though, for this passing game. that has been moving well this series. Good thing for them, though. Still 2 more downs to connect and try and pick up another first down.
To the air again, Fields.
Thrown across his body, and it's intercepted.
And the Rams are going to get the football here at their own 40-yard line.
Unfortunately for him, if last week was any indication, we knew a pick was coming at some point. Last week it was interception after interception, and here we go again.
We actually quit counting last week at a certain point because I thought I was going to run out of fingers, all right, because I'm not all that skilled as a mathematician. But you're right. It felt like a matter of time, and you've got to think the guys on defense, they couldn't wait for this opportunity after what they saw on tape.
Set to begin their next drive, the Rams offense at the line.
They'll start at the 40, so great starting field position following the interception.
They'll start by running the option to the right. And that play is blown up, losing yardage back at the 35. It's a loss of 5 there, bringing up second.
And not a lot of success to be found there.
Oh, you got that right, partner, because if you're trying to make guys miss about 10 yards or so downfield, that's a pretty good play. But if you've got to do it in your own backfield, I consider that a problem. That doesn't work too well.
So a 5-yard run the other way in the wrong direction, and that leads us to 2nd and 15. Now Stafford. And he'll go down. The Bears get there for the sack. That winds up pushing him back 11 yards on the sack. And that'll bring up 3rd.
Now that was a passer's nightmare. The front door totally shut down by the defense, so he kept going backwards, hoping to find another avenue of escape. It didn't exist.
So now Stafford and the Rams, after the sack, well, they're staring up at a 3rd and long.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. Man open is Robinson. And they're going to have this across midfield and inside the 45. A real letdown defensively. That was 3rd and a bundle, but they allow the conversion.
How about the first half he's putting together? Well over 100 yards already with that last catch. And to me, they'd be well served to keep looking his way. A number of big plays already in this one.
Toward the sideline, and look at that catch. Dragging the toes, and that's going to be a first down. Well done. A good gain of 14 there, and it moves the chains.
Let's make this one simple. What a catch, especially the finishing part of getting his feet in bounds, toe tapping, and, of course, foot dragging.
A little tapestry, if you will.
Oh, I like it.
On first down, Stafford here. To the sideline, and that is a heck of a catch as he was able to get both feet in. Another nice gain, 13 yards that time, and another first down.
Well, they've certainly done a nice job spreading the ball around on this drive. This time he gets it out to his back, and it's another nice play and another first down. They've got the defense on their heels a little bit. They're reacting instead of being aggressive and making plays.
So from the 17 now, here's a 1st and 10. From the shotgun, here's a give to Akers.
And he'll be stopped after a gain of only a couple down to the 15-yard line.
That was a particularly nice play because not only was it his job to force the play inside, he was actually able to fold inside himself and make the tackle ultimately. Very nicely done.
The last run got a couple. Here's 2nd and 8.
They'll go with Akers here up the middle.
He will push his way down to about the 14. A short gain of just over 2 yards as the first half clock dips inside of 3 minutes. 2 yards on the first down carry and then followed up by 2 yards on the second down carry.
Well, that's definitely not going to be enough to get the job done. Wasn't the expression 3 yards in a cloud of dust?
Now they're going to need 6 on 3rd down to keep the drive going. The Rams on 3rd down. They've been okay, 2 for 3 thus far. This will be 3rd and 6. Back to throw, Stafford. And it's caught, and he couldn't quite get there. Tackled down at the 1. 12 yards It's that time for number 12 as they move the chains.
They scored touchdowns on drives 1 and 2, and now they're trying to make it a perfect 3 for 3 to start. Akers is into the end zone. Touchdown, LA.
The Rams going to go ahead and use the first of their timeouts. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this second quarter.
He finishes off the drive with a touchdown run, Charles. Remember, he also had a catch on this drive as well.
And that's what running backs want to be in today's NFL, a complete back. 3 down, stay on the field, run it, and catch it. And he gets it done.
Myers connects on the PAT, and that pushes the lead up to an even 20. And after the touchdown, here's Myers to boot it away. And they'll put up the stop sign there as his guys will get it at the 25. At the line, prepping for their next drive, the Bears offense.
As the offense comes out here, Charles, remember they threw the interception last time out, but they were moving the football down the field. Looked like they were going to have a sustained drive that ended in points, but then the pick ensued.
And because of that, there's no way you can call the last drive a success. Yes, there are things to build on because they found some play calls that work. Now, they've got to build another drive and find a way to avoid the turnover the plague did on the last one.
At the 33-yard line.
Here's a 2nd and 2 now from the 33. Montgomery on the counter. And he is met at the line of scrimmage, and he goes down right there. He got maybe a half yard at most, but officially they'll be left with a 3rd and 2. Defense able to get there, swarm to the football. Zilch, 0 nada there for the offense, Charles.
Yeah, it really was an example of good team defense, wasn't it? Everyone handled their responsibilities, and they held them to no gain.
On 3rd down, they go Montgomery. And he'll be taken down, but he does have 1st down yardage. 5 yards on the play there, as the drive will continue.
Well, that was big right there because they're in the bottom 5 in the league and converting on 3rd down. They needed that pickup in a big way.
There were 2 things they said they wanted to win in this game. One, the turnover battle, and the second, 3rd down conversions. So they got one there. So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. A shotgun snap, Fields.
And an incomplete pass. That'll stop the clock here with just under a minute to play in half number 1.
To this point, I've been impressed with the work defensively. They have not allowed a lot of receivers to run free. And there's another example, another incompletion.
So after the incompletion on 1st, now 2nd and 10.
Fields now to throw.
And this time he's got the hook up. It's complete. The Rams calling on their nickel set here defensively for 3rd down. That'll be taken in there by Miles Boykin. Now the Bears going to call the first of their timeouts, as the clock will stop with 34 seconds to go before halftime.
I think everyone in the stadium saw that big hit coming.
And I, as a former defensive back, have to admit I'm a little disappointed. He actually was able to hold on to the ball. He brought the lumber on that play. Give my man a whole lot of credit for taking the hit and possessing the football.
And picking up the 1st down. This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. Fields throwing again. And that is incomplete. Well, the coverage a little too good there, and it's 2nd down.
This defense not going to make it easy for you. They're a physical group, and we just saw it there on that play. It came in, made the contact, just as he's trying to haul it in.
Second and 10. Now it's Fields.
He's going to let this one go deep. Oh, and a bad throw there. It's intercepted. Picked off by David Long.
And the Rams are going to take over at their own 11-yard line. And, Charles, it seems like sometimes when you fall down early, there can be a tendency there to try and get it all back in one fell swoop. And that time, that thinking leads to an interception.
And I believe you brought up a really good point there, Brandon, because you try and force plays, right? You try and get all back in one shot, just as you mentioned there. And you know you're going to need some big plays to get back into the game. But ultimately, you really can't force what isn't there.
That'll be caught. It's Cup. Now the Rams will signal for a timeout, their second, as the clock will stop with 18 seconds to go in the first half. Right after the turnover, they come out throwing.
And that means it's a sudden change situation. We used to practice it on defense. Sudden change, get out there, stop the offense. But you typically run out there a little bit unsettled. I think that's why he came right out throwing the football, hoping to catch him off balance.
And he did. In motion goes the tight end. Stafford on first down.
Looking for Cooper Kupp again, 2 in a row.
Now the offense will burn their third and final timeout. And with halftime on the horizon, they'll be out of timeouts from here forward.
The goal for any offense versus his own defense, find the holes where guys are available and put the ball on the receiver before any defender can step up and fill it.
They did it well there. A perfectly executed crossing route. Looking to throw again on second down. Stafford going up top for Kupp. And he knocks the ball away, and it falls incomplete.
They gave it a shot with the deep pass, but it wasn't going to work there. And now there's less time for them to try and get 3 before the half. Let's see what they dial up on this next snap.
Final shot before the break. Stafford. He's going to try and go deep again. And it's knocked away and incomplete. So we've reached halftime here. Let's throw in a broadcaster cliche, shall we? Both teams looking for a gift on Christmas Eve. As we are off to Orlando now to check in with Jonathan Coachman and our EA Sports halftime report. Coach? Welcome back. Halftime over. We are ready for quarter number 3. Alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gordon. The Bears going to see the football first, and they trail here as we get back underway to start this second half. And we'll see a return here from the end zone. And he's probably realizing he should have stayed in the end zone as he can only muster a return to the 14-yard line.
In this position, trying to get back into the game, teams are looking for a spark from their special teams. That's not what they got, though. They got a setback, and they have a long field to cover if they want to try and put points on the board.
The Bears offense ready to go for their next drive.
On first down, Fields. He's got the hookup downfield to Boykin.
Uses the stiff arm.
And he's going to be brought down at about the 16. I don't think there's anyone who could possibly doubt how fast he could run on the open field. But if there were, he silenced those thoughts there.
And that's the kind of play where you have to kind of catch your breath afterwards. So just give me a second here, because when he shifted into high gear, he was an absolute blur out there. No substitute for speed. We talk about that all the time. The evidence was right there.
first down. Here's the run with Montgomery. And down inside the 10 here before he's out of bounds right around the 7. Give him 9 on the carry that time, and they're set up with a 2nd and 1.
And there we saw one of the downsides of blitzing during a rundown, because sometimes you get out of your gaps. You don't fit the run quite as well because you're headed towards the ball carrier with abandon.
Back to Montgomery on 2nd down. And he'll be stopped just outside the 5 at the 6. Only a yard on the pickup, so a good situation on 2nd and 2. It's now 3rd and 1. That ground game contained again there, Charles, and that's really a big reason that they're trailing right now.
And give a lot of credit to that defensive front. That's exactly what they worked for all week, to try and take away the run game, make them one-dimensional. In the battle of game plans, theirs has been superior.
Fields to throw on 3rd and 1. This is caught. And he'll be taken down, but he does have first down yardage. 5 yards is the pickup there as that extends this drive. I don't know what they talked about at halftime. Whatever it was, it worked. They look like a different team here in the 3rd quarter.
Yeah, I doubt that there were very many trash cans that got kicked over, that type of a speech. I think what they did was they analyzed what worked in the first half, what didn't, and figured out a better game plan.
Now Fields. Oh, Fields is intercepted for a 3rd time. And the Rams are going to take over once again with a football at their own 20-yard line.
They were well aware of the scoreboard as they went into halftime, and they know how tough it's been to put up any kind of points. But if there's a positive after that play, is that they were able to take a shot at the end zone on their opening drive of this half. The negative, though, that shot at 6 ended in an interception, and we know that's not going to jumpstart this struggling offense.
And he is brought down at the 22 after a gain of 2, and it brings up 2nd down.
Oh, that's a real nice job there by the defensive front. They just engaged and held their ground. But how about the guy who made the play? We often talk about whether they take a good first step or not. Many times you just don't take any step. Just get your feet moving, get your body going, and then once he made the read, he was able to make the play.
They'll wind up getting 7 on the play, and that's going to make it 3rd down and less than a yard. That's a staple of this offense. Drag route to the tight end.
Yeah, he's unable to use his size to break off much more yardage after the catch, but still an effective gain nonetheless.
And Stafford's going to take it himself. And he is going to have a Rams first down, at least at first glance, as they'll spot the football just beyond the marker. They find a way to convert on 3rd and inches.
I don't know about you, but I like this call. 3rd and inches, and instead of worrying about getting it back to a running back and maybe there's some penetration from the defensive front, just go ahead and take it, move forward, and pick up the first down.
And as we say often, shows confidence in your offensive line. Throwing on first down. Back. That's into the hands of Tutu Atwell. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. 23 yards on the play.
And while we may be looking at the scoreboard, this offense certainly is not, because they're showing no signs of backing down, even with a 3-score lead here in the 3rd quarter. I think they keep taking their shots. They've seen blown leads happen throughout this league. They don't want to fall victim to it themselves.
He was brought down by Eric Wilson.
Well, that's just a pile of bodies there, and that's when you kind of find out who's a tough guy, right? Who can stand up and make a play. It was only a 3-yard run, but for both sides, they had to walk away from that feeling like, okay, I can stand up when the going gets tough in here.
The last run got 3. Now here's 2nd and 7. Off the option, here's Akers. And some good tackling there as he stopped up at about the 41.
They're in a pretty good spot right now with a convincing lead. I think this is where they put on the boxing gloves and start to try and pound them into submission.
And the offensive line, they've controlled this game. I don't see why that trend would change now. Here's the 7th play of this drive. This is 3rd and 4. Operating from the gun. Beck. Got his man complete over the middle. That's Hopkins. And he is going to have a Rams first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
As an unbiased observer, I think it would have been interesting to see what they would have done if they hadn't gotten the first down there. But since they did, I guess the point is moot.
Yeah, they're right there in that middle ground, field goal range, punt, go for it. But as you said, they picked it up. And some room to run now. And he's going to take this one in for a Rams touchdown. Cam Akers, his third touchdown of the game, number 14 on the year, as his guys have opened up a very comfortable lead. Extra point up and through by Myers, and that stretches the lead all the way up to 27. And after the touchdown, here's Myers to boot it away. They'll elect to bring it out here from the end zone. And no chance to get away as they'll get him down at about the 17-yard line. At the line, prepping for their next drive, the Bears offense. As this offense takes the field against CD, remember last drive they were moving the football, but then they threw that costly interception, so we'll see if they can right the ship here on this drive.
And doesn't that just sum up football? We see it all the time, don't we? The defense goes from losing the battle to making a huge play and stealing the momentum. So you know they're riding high right now, and they're ready to challenge this offense and that quarterback one more time.
And we'll see if the offense is up for that challenge here as things start to get more interesting here in this second half. So 1st and 10 now from the 30. Back to throw. Fields. Eluding the pressure right. On the run. He'll let this go deep right side. And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Picked up by Anthony Brown. Well, to be blunt, not a whole lot has gone right for this defense in this ball game, but that's something right there. Still in the 3rd quarter. It would take something around miracle territory for a comeback, but maybe that's a start, Charles.
It certainly is, and they're definitely showing that there's some fight still left in them. Hasn't been a banner day, but they're trying their best to put that disappointment behind them and find ways to make plays.
Room here to run. Touchdown, LA! Cam Akers, 40 yards. And the Rams are able to extend their lead in the final seconds of this 3rd quarter. Myers connects on the PAT, and the lead grows even larger here in the 3rd quarter. And after the touchdown, here's Myers to boot it away. And here comes a return from a few steps into the end zone. The Bears offense ready to go for their next drive. Well, we're still in the 3rd quarter, so there's some time to kind of clean this up and make it look more respectable now. A win, that's probably gone out the window, Charles, but I don't know. Do you look at this as a time to just improve and maybe start to look towards the future?
I think you have to find something to play for, something to grasp onto until the clock runs out. But, Brandon, we've been around this game a long time. This is an outlier. You don't get many blowouts like this no matter how the game looks on paper going in. This one has turned out to be everyone's worst nightmare realized.
The last run got 9. That leaves him with 2nd and a yard. They'll keep pounding here with Montgomery. And he'll get it up to the 33-yard line. 6 yards the pickup, and that's a first down.
2nd and 1 is often an invitation to take the big shot downfield. But I bet the offensive lineman said, are you kidding? We just get on our backs and let's go get the first down. They love being physical.
So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33. And they'll run it. This is James Robinson. And he can only manage to get a couple. 2nd and 8 coming up.
Certainly a nice job there by the defense rallying to the football and getting him on the ground. But I think the play gets made by the defensive front. Because if they can't get upfield, their job is to go ahead and get low, almost get into a ball sometimes, stack things up, and make it difficult for the runner to find a hole.
Throwing on 2nd and 8. Fields. And his throw is incomplete.
And that's another play that's painted the picture of this game overall. It's been a blowout. It's been continually fueled by big turnovers and stops for one side and an inability to advance the ball from the other.
The offense on 3rd down, they've been good. 3 for 4 thus far. This is 3rd and 8. Boy, and now they can't even get a play off. Well, everybody was up there ready at the line of scrimmage, CD, but no snap, and the delay of game ensued.
Yeah, and I'm sure their head coach is asking the exact same thing. What's going on out there? Almost like they thought they had more time than actually was on the clock.
After the delay, they're backed up even further for 3rd and long. Now the Bears going to call the first of their timeouts. That'll leave them with 2 remaining. We'll be back after this. An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. Fields. And the Rams got him. They bring him down. Leonard Floyd. He's the one to get him, and that is sack number 7 for him on the year.
Well, it's obvious, but I can't help but say it here. It's never a good day when the opposing defense has more sacks than you have points. The win seems likely, but this defense is still playing for something here. They see that 0 on the scoreboard, and they don't want that to change.
Fourth down. Fields has to have this one. And that is incomplete. The Bears tried it on 4th down, unable to convert. And the Rams get the football in outstanding field position. So the defense has to stay out and get one more stop. They were able to do it, forcing the incompletion.
So on their record, that goes down as a successful play. It doesn't matter how they got there, how it happened. They got it done. They're the ones that are jubilant.
And he's going to lose yards. They take him down at the 26. That one unable to develop, never got going. A loss of a couple, and it's second down.
You know what the key to a good screen pass is, don't you?
Bet you're going to tell me. Good blocking?
Well, good blocking eventually. But first is good acting. You want to let the defenders go past you, leak out to whichever side or even in the middle where you want to set up the screen, and then you do your blocking. How about the read, though, by the defensive guys? They weren't fooled at all and actually ran with the lineman to where the play was and smothered it for a loss of yardage.
That's a gain of 4 as we slip inside of 4 minutes left in regulation. At this stage of the game, with the score where it is, the key here is stay in bounds, and he did just that. Not by a huge margin, but he stayed in.
And those come up in what we like to call winning edge meetings, the things that you have to do. Late game situations, kicking situations, doesn't matter what it is, the things you have to do to win a game, and that comes up in that meeting, then you practice it, they've got to be happy to see it executed, being able to stay in bounds and work the clock.
And he is going to have a Rams first down as they're able to get the third down conversion.
Partner, I have to tell you, just one word keeps coming to mind from watching them this afternoon, and that's impressive. They have been impressive from the opening kickoff, and they haven't let up here even into the fourth quarter.
Now a 1st and 10 at the 11. Off the option, here's Akers.
And he's going to get a solid gain of 9 before being brought down. Second and right at a yard.
I know you're trying to wring every yard out of a run, but I think 9 yards there is ideal in this situation.
Yeah, now next couple plays, you only need 1 yard. Keep that clock rolling with a lead here in the 4th.
Yeah, and what you're saying is maybe if it takes you 1 or 2 more runs to get the first down, that's extra time, extra plays. Really hurts the team on defense.
2nd and 1 from the 2. A give up the middle to Akers.
And they are going to score again. Yet another touchdown as they just add to their totals.
When coaches come into a game preaching total team effort, CD, I think this is the type of ball game that they're dreaming of. It was pretty apparent early on that they were clicking in all 3 phases. It's been fun to watch.
Yeah, sometimes in the NFL you end up with matchups like we've been watching here. And when you go back to the early drives, you can just see that one squad is on a different level in this game. Safe to say, we haven't been disappointed in watching their execution throughout this contest.
Fields and the Bears now with a 1st and 10.
At their own 25-yard line.
From the gun, here's Fields. And this will be caught by Mooney.
And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. One play has him up past the 40 already, and another 1st and 10.
They'll fake the handoff. Now Fields.
They'll roll him out right. He's going to let it fly. And now here's another interception.
Picked off by Anthony Brown. And the Rams are going to take over at their own 41.
Yet another mistake after the interception there. And guys, you look up at the scoreboard, they just got to be thinking this one cannot get over fast enough.
It certainly can't. And also what happens when you get this big of a deficit, you're supposed to make all the right throws, right? You're supposed to try and obviously get the ball to your own guys. But being down this big, you also take even more chances. And in this situation, that hasn't paid off for them at all.
On the other sideline, jubilation and laughter. And he can't find anywhere to go with it, and he goes down.
Buried by multiple defenders on the drive's first play.
Brandon, that's just football 101. If you're out of the pocket, you've got to get rid of the football in this situation. You cannot take a sack in a 2-minute drill.
So following the sack, they'll try to change their fortune here on 2nd and 13.
They'll run out of the gun with Akers.
Oh, he's got some breathing room.
And a pretty good burst there as he'll get this across midfield and down to the 46. So that time they got the left guard with a hold.
And let's face it, in today's ball, you might have that 330-pound guy you're supposed to clear out of there. You might need a little bit of extra help by grabbing the jersey and trying to ride him out.
Now they face a 2nd and long following the holding penalty.
Off the option, here's Akers. 138 yards rushing for him now as he has been tremendous all day long.
That's it. That's what you want. Straight ahead positive gain. Just keep that clock ticking.
We'll see what they have drawn up here. A little bit behind the line. 12 yards needed to gain a first down. On 3rd down, here's a run by Akers.
And he can only manage to get this to the 45-yard line. Well short of the first. Now the Bears going to use the 2nd of their timeouts, as the clock will stop with an even 20 seconds left to go. Here comes the Rams punter now. Always a good sign when your first punt comes in the 4th quarter. He was only asked to punt once in the victory last week as he sends this one away. And a great job here. This is going to turn out to be a beauty. This is marked down at about the 3-yard line.
That is how you flip field position. That's an absolute bomb of a punt. Downs it inside the 5-yard line. Absolutely ideal.
From that position, you're hoping to get it down inside the 15, inside the 5. Superb.
At the line, prepping for their next drive, the Bears offense. And they unfortunately are staring at a mini losing streak developing, trailing here in the 4th quarter. This would be their 3rd straight defeat.
Incomplete, and we're down to 8 seconds now.
Another throw there off the mark, and obviously he's battled all of the interceptions. Things just haven't been true to form for him. I don't know. What do you think's going on out there, CD?
That's a great question, and my suspicion is he's been coached really well to not show that he's having a problem. You know, they always tell you no matter what, you keep throwing the football with confidence. But we're not seeing a confident thrower right now. He's off balance, the passing game's off balance, and the defense is taking advantage.
Another throw on 2nd down, and this one incomplete as well.
At this point in the game, they've got to continue to try anything they can. They're still working at it, even though this one feels like a lost cause.
So back-to-back incompletions, and that has them staring at a 3rd and 10.
And one last throw here for Fields.
And that is incomplete. 2 seconds left on the clock.
It just seems like all game long there hasn't been a lot of sync quarterback to wide receiver on this side of the football.
They haven't been on the same page, quarterback and receivers. Heck, they haven't been on the same grease board when you draw plays up. They haven't been on the same surface tablet that you look at on the sidelines. Nothing's worked for them. They've got to find a way to start matching each other's movements.
One final shot. They'll look to throw, but they're going to wrap him up as he'll go down well short of the first.
For the winning team here, Charles, that's about as big and clean of a win as you can hope for in the National Football League. No turnovers. Meanwhile, you forced turnovers. You didn't allow any points, and you put up a bunch of points. What an effort.
And, Brandon, I just have to ask you, that's all the stuff that we saw happen today. Those are statistics, numbers, the whole deal. But my question is, how does one team come ready to play, and the other one, obviously, not ready at all?
Well, I mean, I obviously don't have an answer to that, but that was the story from the get-go. One side was awake and ready, and the other just seemed to sleep.
So for the Rams, it's a critical win for them as it gets them to 9-6 on the year.